For my fucking people, free my niggas in the jail, screaming fuck a CO. On God, bitch, we bout to be on. Bitch, I'm finna set it off, nigga, like a Cleo. And yeah, my new bitch a Leo. She a freak, where I go, nigga, that's where she go. They down the street with the pole, so protect your people. Better sleep with one eye open, looking through your people. Young nigga like you don't make no difference whether you live or you don't. On P's and Q's, better not be slipping. Niggas got desert ego, and they got 4, 5, 10, 9s. Fuck around, don't make them do numbers, nigga. Fuck shit happen all the time, niggas down round here, we love it, nigga. I do it for my fucking people. Free my niggas in the jail, screaming fuck a CO. On God, bitch, we bout to be on. Bitch, I'm finna set it off, nigga, like a Cleo. Say free my niggas in the jail. And yeah, my new bitch a Leo. She a freak, where I go, nigga, that's where she go. Hey, R.I.P. my nigga Steve, he too young to be gone. R.I.P. my cousin Chubb, put some liquor we on. Said this is strictly for my thugs and my ghetto people. And bitches that don't show no love till they see you be on. Thinking what if I get rich, maybe I could fuck the baddest bitch. Thinking back when I ain't had a shit, she would treat a nigga whack as shit. Icy watches on my platinum wrist, I could tell you think it's immaculate. I could tell a hoe a mile away, a hoe gon' be a hoe for who gon' pay. There she go, she thinking I'm a trick. Your mistake, I'm trying to throw some dick, but you ain't getting nothing out of this. I should probably charge, I'll admit. Girl, you just a broad and I'm the shit. It's 1,000 views and only one him. Thinking back to when I didn't exist, you ain't know who you was dealing with, little bitch. I do it for my fucking people. Free my niggas in the jail, screaming fuck a CO. On God, bitch, we bout to be on. Bitch, I'm finna set it off, nigga, like I'm Cleo. And yeah, my new bitch a Leo. She a freak, where I go, nigga, that's where she go. They down the street with the pole, so protect your people. Better sleep with one eye open, looking through your people. Woke up thinking, what if I get rich? Maybe I could fuck the baddest bitch. Thinking back when I ain't had a shit, she would treat a nigga whack as shit. Icy watches on my platinum wrist, I could tell you think it's immaculate. I could tell a hoe a mile away, a hoe gon' be a hoe for who gon' pay.
With a black in the back, y'all niggas finna get it done. Niggas talk smack on your back where they at when they back. They be like, listen it, bro. Niggas don't trap on the rap, but they gat, but they never go back. You see them know, hey, niggas all cap like a mad text. I'm the man next, you was bandage. You be stretched out like a spare dress. From a skinny girl to a fat bitch. I'm a cabinet, wish a nigga would. That skin above average, I be feeling good. Rapping with a passion, I ain't in the hood. Trying to make shit happen just so I can come back and spit a fraction. I be feeling like assassin with a pad and pencil. I'm a dragon, whole world is an info, finna smash it. Hollywood suck my dick, give a nigga opportunity and take that shit right back just like that. And I ain't like that. No. So I'm finna bring a little spice back. Finna rap like I never did. Finna show the fuck out, feel that like an ice pack. Finna turn this bitch to ice rag. Y'all niggas finna play right back. Look. In the back, with a black in the back. Y'all niggas finna get it done. Niggas talk smack on your back where they at when they back. They be like, listen it, bro. Niggas don't trap on the rap, but they gat, but they never go back. You see them. Messy. Devil trying to take my soul. I ain't got time to get spiritual. Me, I'm just going with the flow. My nigga, I gotta get spiritual. Trouble is where my mind roll. I ain't got time to get spiritual. They told me read the Bible. My nigga, I gotta get spiritual. Holy water, all the Holy Ghost. I ain't got time to get spiritual. Feeling lost on this long road. Shit, I just gotta get spiritual. Demons fucking with my soul. I ain't got time to get spiritual. Nigga, I gotta get spiritual. I ain't got time to get spiritual. My nigga, I gotta get spiritual. I ain't got time to get spiritual. Yeah. I guess you ain't let it need it. I might say so. Oh, yeah, I always know. I might say so. Okay, I was just other day, they know from the east side. From the east side, like little roads right here. I'm like, oh, little roads. I ain't kid. I'm old enough to go home, man. Long as the shop smoke car, no, you know what I'm saying?
Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I am your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur. You can also follow me on TikTok at Dr. A Shakur and on Twitter at DGoddess27. Please be sure to follow the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur fan page on Instagram and Twitter so you can get your latest updates on what the Queen is doing. Also, make sure you go over to my website, QueenAhmadiyyahShakur.com, and subscribe so that you'll be added to my email list. All right, so with that all been said, let's get ready to get back into it. Let's get ready to get back into it. Hello, Gail, Ray Williams, Wavy, those in the house, Mr. Hotel, Jeff ATL, Leo Lion, Aon is here. All right. Shout out to the moderators putting in work. We got V Maltspeed at Crazy Beach Aries, Patriot 420, Pensy Lola, Anisha, Root Trackers, Bayera, Dana's in the house, G from the land. All right. So let's get into it. Lakiva, I see you, beloved. Daughter of Y'all Clothed in Purple. Okay. Obsidian Blaze. Mr. Mystical Black Rams, Buckhorse DC, the group home goddess. All right, Deuce Cigarilla. I see you, beloved. Okay, Dervis in the house. Shout out to the mods putting in their work. Okay, so let's get into it. Hey, Derek, Nita's and Mike's World, Jay Walker in the house. Okay, so hey, AKA Care Bear _Care Bear. Listen, this is very sad news. Condolences out to Takeoff's family and to the rest of the Migos, his family, friends, and loved one. Children, if he has any, I don't know. King Lejean, Cassandra, hey, you all. But with that all been said, this is another tragic event of a life taken too soon. And this happens oftentimes in the rap game. Okay, this is often what happens in the rap game. And what you have to realize is often it is the people that we surround ourselves with. When you're a famous person, a person who has accumulated wealth for yourself, especially if you're from the streets or, you in the rap game, period. You have to be careful of whom you are around because this entire incident supposedly happened over a dice game at a bowling alley. Okay, so just certain situations you should try to avoid as far as I'm concerned. Now, anyone could get killed anywhere for any given reason because we have crazy people in this world, wicked and nefarious, hating people in this world. But what I'm saying is sometimes when you put yourself around the wrong people, these things happen and it's very unfortunate. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, there was rumors at first that Quavo was also shot, but that's not true. He was not shot. He's doing fine, aside from grieving, I'm sure. Takeoff was only 28 years old. Only 28 years old. And then rapper Designer had an emotional breakdown on live, as I can imagine. So let's get ready to get into it. Let me pull this up real quick. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, TMZ was the first to report or to confirm that Takeoff, in fact, was deceased. They say Houston rapper Takeoff, a member of the popular Atlanta group Migos, is dead in a shooting at a Houston bowling alley. TMZ reports from multiple witnesses and law enforcement sources that the 28-year-old rapper, whose real name is Kershnick Kyrie Ball, was killed at a bowling alley in Texas City shortly after 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday. They say, according to KRC and TMZ, an altercation broke out during a dice game, and someone at the scene opened fire, hitting Ball in either the neck or the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, footage obtained by TMZ shows Quavo, another former member of Migos, yelling for help after the shooting. At the time of the shooting, around 40 to 50 people were at the bowling alley. At least 2 others were injured in the shooting. They have been transported to a local hospital and their conditions are unknown. Now, investigators have not released any information about possible suspects in the shooting and say that they are not releasing the identity of the victim until the family has been notified. And like I said, TMZs are the ones who confirmed that it was Takeoff. Now, hours before the shooting, Takeoff shared a photo on his Instagram story of himself at the bowling alley. He had just released the music video for his new song, Messy, the day prior. Migos was formed by Takeoff, his uncle Quavo, and his cousin Offset in 2008 in Georgia. So after blowing up with their 2013 song Versace, the group dominated on the pop and rap charts, as well as streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music with songs like Bad and Bougie, Motorsport, Stir Fry, and Walk It, Talk It. Their albums Culture and Culture 2 reached platinum status and hit the #1 spot on the Billboard 200 albums chart. And so this is very sad. And let me put Takeoff's picture on the screen for those of you who are not familiar with him. That's him right there, 28 years old. Definitely gone too soon. So now the law enforcement official who spoke about the murder said that they don't have any suspects as of yet, and that so far no witnesses have come forward giving any information, saying that they saw anything or knew, in fact, who did it, descriptions or any of that things, any of that nature has not been released. Hold on just a moment. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so now let's go to the video of Designer, because Designer is quite upset. Also, D.L. Hughley and DeBrat posted to social media about the incident this morning, offering their condolences as well. Fierce for Reading says, I love Houston, but I stopped going into the city at night because of all the crime and homeless people. Yeah, very unfortunate indeed. Hold on, let me pull this up. Excuse me.
Offset. I can't call none of these niggas. Yo, the round. Yo, round. Yo, I'm done. I can't live like this no more. Bro, I can't call Quay, I can't call Offset. I can't call none of these niggas. Yo, the round. Yo, round. Yo, I'm done. I can't live like this no more. Bro,
That is indeed very sad, heartbreaking to watch. Heartbreaking to watch, as I can imagine. Like I said, apparently he was friends with them. And let me tell you all something. If you all are not keeping count of all these young rappers being killed in the streets, are y'all paying attention? This is like an epidemic. This is absolutely like an epidemic. All these rappers just dying one after the other. It's really sad. It is really sad. Now, here's what the Houston police had to say. Hold on, let me pull this up. I'm on their site. They say the officers went downtown in reference to the shooting at 1200 Polk. One victim was found deceased upon arrival. No suspects have come forward at this time. So, like I said, a very unfortunate turn of events. They say at the time of the shooting, the other people were injured, at least 2, and they don't know how those people are doing as of yet. The family members have not confirmed that it is Takeoff, but TMZ has said that it is. So they have not released, the police have not officially released Takeoff's name because the family has not been notified, or I'm sure they've been notified by now, but the family has not come out and confirmed it. So once again, condolences to the family. And this, like I said, this has seemed to become an epidemic of all these rappers just getting shot over petty squabbles and things like that. And in my opinion, most of this is due to jealousy. Broke people out here on the streets, envious because someone has made a name for themselves. They've acquired money and all of that. And they'll find the most minuscule reason to kill you. This is what it is. And here's the thing. If you're a rich, celebrity, a rapper, you should not be involved in any dice games with common hood Negroes. That's just what you shouldn't be doing. That's not safe, as we can see. That is absolutely not safe. Someone said it's no coincidence. Well, I don't think it is a coincidence either. You never know. At the end of the day, look at all these rappers whose record labels have insurance on them, life insurance policies. So I'm just saying, you never know. You never know, especially Empire Records. Empire Records allegedly has many rappers that have died as of late, from XXXTentacion to King Von, okay? I mean, and all of these rappers, they had life insurance policies on them, allegedly. So I'm just saying, honey, I don't put anything past anybody, especially when it comes to making money and profiting off of Black people, whether in life or death. And that's just how I see it, okay? And so Danielle said, when we do get better, we do better. Absolutely. Nina's and Mike's World said, exactly, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Now, let's move on to the next topic. I really feel sorry for Takeoff's family during this time of grief. This is absolutely sad. But let's talk about Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker got roasted, toasted, and clearly fried. Now, there is a pastor in Atlanta by the name of Jamal Bryant. Now, he went in on Herschel Walker like none I've ever seen before and called him out for every penny that he was or wasn't worth. So let's talk about that, because I have the video that has now gone viral with him going in on Herschel Walker. And quite frankly, I absolutely loved it. Yes, old Hershey, Crazy Beach Aries. Yes. All right. So King G said roasted, toasted, and clearly fried. Yes. Roasted him like a planter's peanut, no less. So I'm going to pull up this video for y'all's entertainment, honey, because I absolutely enjoyed every single minute of it. All right, this is what you say about an Uncle Ruckus, okay? A plantation pappy such as Herschel Walker himself. This is what you say about him. Or as Cedric the Entertainer called him, Old Hershey. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, when the Republican Party of Georgia moved Herschel Walker from Texas to Georgia so that he could run for Senate, it's because change was taking too fast in the post-antebellum South. The state had been flipped blue, and there are some principalities that were not prepared for a Black man and a Jewish man to go to Senate at the exact same time. So they figured that they would delude us by picking somebody who they thought would in fact represent us better with a football than with a degree in philosophy. They thought we were so slow, that we were so stupid, that we would elect the lowest caricature of a stereotypical broken black man as opposed to somebody who is educated and erudite and focused. Y'all ain't ready for me today. Since Herschel Walker was 16 years old, white men been telling him what to do, telling him what school to go to, where to live, where to eat, where to buy a house, where to run, where to sit down, where to sleep, where to pay for abortions, where to buy a gun. And you think they not gonna tell him how to vote? In 2022, we don't need a walker, we need a runner. We need somebody who gonna run and tell the truth about January 6th. We need somebody who gonna run and push for the cancellation of student loan debts. We need somebody who gonna run and make the former president respond to a subpoena. We don't need a walker, we need somebody who will be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding, knowing that your labor is not in vain. Georgia, I need you to know the slave Negroes y'all are used to don't live here no more. We can think for ourselves, function for ourselves, and vote for ourselves. Why? Because we don't need a walker. Ladies and gentlemen, when the Republic
Whoops. There it is. All right, y'all heard it. Won't he do it? I mean, he called him out, honey. Woo-woo. That'll never get old. I promise you. That's, my beloveds, will never get old. Okay? That's right. Miss Hotel said, let the church say amen. Amen. All right. Please. I don't know about y'all, but I'm completely done at this point. Sit down somewhere, Herschel Walker. This is also crazy. Joe Joko said he's going to lose his 501c3s. I doubt it. I doubt it, honey, but that was absolutely all facts, okay? That was all facts. And so he does need to sit down somewhere. Let me tell you, all the lies that Herschel has told, all the foolishness, all the rhetoric, all this talking crazy. And the best part for me was when he said, ever since Herschel has been 16 years old, white men have been telling him what to do, where to go, and everything. And they have. And you don't think they're going to be doing the same thing if he gets in the Senate, honey, please. Okay? You don't think they're going to be doing the same thing, honey? He won't even have a vote. They'll tell him what his vote is. That's how that'll go. All right? I absolutely believe it. Please. Herschel Walker is one of those scared to death Negroes that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speaks about. He's one of those. He's one of those stuck so deeply and embedded and enrooted on the plantation. He refuses to leave. And he wants to take us back there with him, honey, but he can miss the queen with it. That's what he can do. That's what he can do, honey. Pastor Jamal Bryant's taught him a new one. Pay attention. That was epic as far as I'm concerned. All right, that was clearly epic. Now, let's talk about the cop who murdered our brother, Patrick Lyoya. Y'all remember when Patrick was killed in April? Now, this officer has been indicted for murder. He's going to have to stand trial. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves because we know how that can go left real quick. So let's talk about it. Meantime, between time, let me put Patrick's picture up on the screen for those of you who have forgotten about his story. That's him right there. You all remember that? I showed you the footage. And let me go back to it before. Let me show his family with Attorney Crump when they were begging for justice and asking that the cop be charged, which he now has been. So let's go to that first. Let's revisit that. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Specifically for those of you who have forgotten or possibly didn't even hear about Patrick's story. If y'all watched The Queen, you heard about it, though. Here we go.
The father of an unarmed Michigan man killed by police is demanding prosecution of the officer who shot his son. Peter Lyoya, who emigrated with his son from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, spoke to reporters through a translator.
I'm asking for justice for Patrick. Justice for Patrick.
Police video released on Wednesday captures an unnamed officer pulling over 26-year-old Patrick Lyoya on April 4th, saying his license plate did not match the car.
Hey, stay in the car! Stay in the car! Stop!
As the officer tries to arrest him, he runs.
Got one running.
Get behind your back!
Then a scuffle. The officer climbs on Lyoya's back, captured on video by Lyoya's passenger in the car. The officer's taser goes off. Missing Lyoya, there is an apparent struggle for control of the taser.
Let go, taser!
Then the officer reaches for his gun and fires. Civil rights lawyer Ben Crump, hired by the family, calls it murder.
You see a police officer
unaona polisi askari
escalate
anapeleka shida
a minor traffic stop
kitu ya kidogo yenye ingefanya haisifike
into a deadly execution.
Grand Rapids police have turned over the investigation to Michigan State Police.
Wakati nimeona video hii,
by the time when I saw this video,
roho yangu kabisa imevunjika.
My heart was really deeply broken.
Now, the family who sought safety in the U.S. after fleeing war in their homeland will have to go on without him. John Hendren, Al Jazeera.
And that is very sad, and I hope that officer gets exactly what he deserves, honey, life in prison. But he won't get that. They never do. But let me say this. Yeah, I'm sick of it too, Gail. I'm absolutely sick of it. And let me say this. For those of you who are foolish enough to call Black immigrants tethers, do you have any sympathy when you see people like Mr. Patrick Lyoya killed in the same manner that they kill Black African Americans? Do you have any sympathy? Do you feel compelled to shed a tear or two? Do you have condolences to offer for the family? I'm just wondering, because the Negroes who talk about these people as if they're not melanated just like us, as if their lives are worthless, or as if they're all against us because of the actions of a few of them. Well, we have some of our own African Americans, FBA, whatever you want to call yourself. We have some of these same people against us too. I don't see you demonizing them. So this is nothing but a tactic of divide and conquer put out by the wanton supremacists and carried out by Bussy Reek-Nashi. Pay attention. All right? So I just wonder, those of you who refer to them as tethers and talk with such angst and disdain for them, I wonder, do you even care when their lives are taken in the same manner that our people's lives are taken? I'm just curious. Because some of y'all want to sit there and act ignorant, or shall I say niggerant, and act as though they don't have the same plight that we do. They absolutely do. They're oppressed in their homelands. That's why they come here. And when they get here, they're oppressed just as we are. Make no mistake. They get murdered in the streets by the race soldiers just like our people do. What's the difference? They get discriminated against just as our people do. What's the difference? You find some of them that are used against us by the wanton supremacists. They're used as tools of wanton supremacy. But at the end of the day, those that fall for that, just like the ones of our own that fall for it, they have colonized minds. They have self-loathing that they deal with, self-hate. A person cannot love you when they can't love themselves. And some of y'all don't realize that, but you want to sit there and listen to an idiot named Bussy Reek-Nashi. Y'all want to listen to that fool who is Confederate against our people. Honey, he ain't taking y'all to get no reparations. He's heading y'all down the path to be slaughtered. Pay attention. That's my opinion. All right? And I don't mean slaughtered in the physical sense, but to have you mentally slaughtered, to have you running around chasing your tails, thinking you're going to get something at his behest. He's not working for you. He's working against you. He already said that they offered him a huge bag to sow seeds of division amongst us and them. And if y'all don't think he took that bag, then you're a fool. Because otherwise, why is he doing it? Why is he doing it? Now, let me continue. Now, so the officer, they say, is going to face trial. Ex-officer who shot Patrick Lyoya to face trial for murder. A former Grand Rapids, Michigan police officer who shot a black man in the back of the head as the two scuffled during a traffic stop will be tried for second-degree murder. In an opinion he read in court Monday, Judge Nicholas A. Ayalb wrote that there was probable cause for Christopher Shakur to stand trial in the April killing of Patrick Lyoya. Footage of the incident was released days after the fatal encounter, drawing protesters to the streets of the western Michigan city. It showed Lyoya and Shakur fighting for control of the officer's taser before the officer fired the fatal shot. The family of Lyoya, 26-year-old Congolese refugee, had demanded justice for what they called an execution. And that's exactly what it was. He shot that man at point blank range in his head with zero F's given. Their attorney, Benjamin Crump, decried the shooting as another senseless killing of a black person in America by the very people who were supposed to protect them. He and his co-counsel, Ben Johnson, said in a statement Monday that a trial is the next step in our pursuit for obtaining full and complete justice for the murder of Patrick Lyoya, saying that our legal team will continue to fight to ensure former Grand Rapids police officer Christopher Shakur and the city of Grand Rapids are held accountable for his actions. Now, the ex-officer, 31 years old, has pleaded not guilty, and his attorneys have argued his use of force was appropriate under the circumstances. How? Was his life at any point in the situation of the scuffle in danger, imminent danger? Was he an imminent threat to the officer or anyone else? Well, it didn't look like it to me, but you all be the judge. So it says that he was forced to use this under the circumstances. A 7-year veteran of the Grand Rapids Police Department, he was fired after his arrest in Lyoya's killing. His defense team says that they were disappointed in the judge's decision, but added that given the extremely low burden at this stage of the proceedings, we are not necessarily surprised. Chris Shakur maintains his innocence, and we believe that he will be exonerated at trial, and the evidence overwhelmingly shows that he is not guilty of wrongdoing. Well, that's what they'll say. That's what they always say. Attorneys Matt Bergula, Michaela Hamilton, and Mark Dodge. Michaela sounds like a black woman. Did they get a black woman just to make it look good on his behalf? Pay attention. Now, the judge's 11-page opinion followed 2 days of testimony offered last week during a preliminary examination. In it, he wrote that prosecutors have presented probable cause to support the second-degree murder charge. He noted that his own role is very limited, and it will be up to jurors to review the facts of the case and determine whether the shooting was justified. They say factual questions remain as to whether defendant reasonably believed that his life was in imminent danger or that he was in imminent danger of suffering great bodily harm and that deadly force was reasonably necessary. Now, these are questions of fact that the jury must decide based on the totality of the circumstances as presented in evidence at the trial. The April 4th shooting was captured in multiple videos made public by the Grand Rapids Police Department. The recording showed Shakur pulling over a Nissan Altima in a neighborhood, telling Lyoya, the driver, that the license plate did not match the car. Lyoya stepped out of the vehicle. The officer told him, "Stay in the car." "Dude, I'm stopping you." Lyoya appeared confused as to what he had done wrong. The officer asked whether he spoke English, and Lyoya responded that he did. Asked to provide his license, Lyoya briefly spoke with a passenger in his car, then closed the door and started to walk away. Shakur grabbed him, apparently prepared to handcuff him. Lyoya struggled and broke free. We already saw all of that, so no need to reiterate it. The officer's body camera stopped filming during the struggle, though it was not clear whether it happened intentionally. Oh, it probably did. He probably cut that body cam off right before he pulled that trigger. I'm just saying. That's what I believe. Now, other cameras continued recording, showing Lyoya attempting to get up and Shakur shouting, "Drop the taser." According to the judge's opinion, Lyoya gained control of the taser in the seconds before Shakur shot him. He was facing the ground when struck in the back of the head. That's a coward move. You shoot somebody in the back of the head. Please tell me how that person was in imminent danger or threat to you. You shot them in the back of the head at point blank range. That means the person wasn't even facing you. So how was that putting you in imminent danger? Can they make that make sense? I'm going to love to see this trial. Now, I'm sure they'll come up with some BS as they often do. And y'all wrote in the opinion that the underlying facts of the incident were not disputed, adding that the only real debatable question here is whether defendants' actions were justified under the law. The reasonableness of those actions can hardly be fully and fairly judged by one person in a black robe with 20/20 vision of hindsight and from the comfortable and safe vantage point of the high perch of the armor-plated judge's bench. It is precisely, though, for this reason that the questions of reasonableness and all questions of fact are determined by a jury at a full and fair trial. Well, I'm going to be following this. That's what I'm going to be doing, because I hope this devil gets his due. I hope he is found guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. All right, and here's the thug that killed him right here, Christopher Skirt. That's him. That's the culprit right there. Let that face marinate and sizzle in your spirit for a second. And so anyway, let's talk about Al Roker. Because Al Roker, hold on. This is clearly murder, but let's see evil play out in court. Exactly. We know how that goes, Rochelle. We absolutely do, beloved. He looks evil and racist, says Rochelle. Absolutely, he sure does. Softly Love said he looks like he has worms. And he's 31 years old. Pay attention, honey. He's a hard-looking 31-year-old if I ever saw one. Now, listen to this. They say Al Roker. Y'all know who Al Roker is, right? Honey, they said somebody tried to go in on Al Roker and say that he was, in fact, old enough at age 69 to be in a home. I guess they wanted to send him to Shady Pines, where I've already paid for Biden an extended stay. And I've already put down the first year's payments, as I told you all repeatedly. But so somebody told Al Roker that he was ready for one, and Al got upset. And so let's go to the footage and see what Al had to say, because he obviously wasn't there for it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all.
Some things leave you guessing. MailChimp.
It's really good.
Can you,
and
back to the Dunkin',
the
Dunkin' cold brew, could you put like milk in that, or would it curdle?
There's actually in the cold brew, Dunkin' cold brew, the brown can, there's milk inside already.
Oh.
Yes, it won't.
Take it home.
I like it.
You should try this at the home.
It's like a beer White Russian.
Try this at the home. What have you put me away already? Here, Al, try this at the home. It'll be fantastic. Where am I? I don't know. How are you?
Where's
Good
that?
to see you.
Al is on one today. He is getting all of the
I don't know what's going on.
Barbara, you're always our favorite. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Al said, y'all not about to send him to no darn home. First of all, he has full use of his cognitive skills, unlike sloppy Joe Biden. Do y'all know that just days ago, did y'all hear that President Biden said that there was, in fact, 54 states? One's in the chat if you all heard your president say that there was 54 states. Please tell me y'all heard this fool. Now, y'all keep thinking I'm being sarcastic or whatever, or just hating on Biden when I say that he's losing it and clearly needs to go sit down somewhere. But y'all didn't hear him say that there was 54 states? And y'all don't think he's losing it? Y'all didn't hear that? Listen. Hold on. Sloppy Joe Jim Crow. Biden was mocked for claiming there are 54 states. This guy is completely senile. That's what they said on Fox News. They said he's completely senile. Conservatives on Twitter ripped into President Biden his last gaffe from Friday night, in which he claimed that Democrats campaigned in 54 states in 2018 to defend Obamacare. Well, it looks like they went above and beyond the call of duty if they went to 54 states. They made up 4 more just to make it look good, right? During his Friday evening remarks at the Pennsylvania Democratic Party reception, Biden touted his party's success in protecting the Affordable Care Act from being dismantled during former President Donald Trump's term. Trump had campaigned on replacing Obamacare, though as Biden claimed Friday, Democrats campaigned so very hard and tenaciously and relentlessly, putting all they had into it and doing all that they could do in the 2018 year to prevent that from happening. In his speech, he warned that the GOP will go after their health care if they gain the congressional majority. 2/3 of the way through his address, Biden said, and of course, they're going to try for their 499th time, or whatever the number is. They're still determined to eliminate the Affordable Care Act. And by the way, if they do, it means not a joke, everybody. Then he made his latest viral statement. He said, that's why we defeated them in 2018 when they tried to do it. We went to 54 states. And he was so serious when he said it. He then added that the reason is people didn't realize that the only reason anybody who has a pre-existing condition can get health care is because of the Affordable Care Act. And he warned that these protections will be gone as soon and very, very soon if the Republicans get their way. That's why we went to those 54 states, you see. We had to put a stop to it. Now, though conservative critics were preoccupied by the number of states the president mentioned, Representative Cory Booker blasted Biden for the apparent gaffe, tweeting that Joe Biden now says there are 54 states. Well, I guess if you count the states of denial, confusion, delusion, and disaster that his regime has caused, he might be on to something. Real Clear Politics President Tom Bevan mocked Biden and former President Obama, who once claimed that there were 57 states in a speech. In his tweet, he stated, looks like we've lost 3 states since 2008. The actor and Hollywood conservative Rob Schneider tweeted, Biden says there's 54 states in America. Next speech, he will explain the 81 million votes. Conservative comedian Terrence Williams lamented over the gaps, tweeting, Joe Biden said he's been in 54 states. Jesus, help us all. Well, clearly they're going in on him. I absolutely cannot. I don't know about you all, but I absolutely cannot. Now, something I wanted to bring to the forefront of you all's memory. You see, Cory Booker. Let's talk about it for a second. Cory Booker. Now, you all remember Cory Booker, right? Now, y'all remember when Cory Booker was talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson when she was being sworn in and all that, and he was just giving his little words and all, and he just was giving this little sad story, and he brought himself to tears, and he even brought Ketanji to tears. Do y'all remember that? One's in the chat, beloveds. If you all remember, Aha Kick said this mess is ghetto. Yes, it absolutely is, honey. Pay attention. But one's in the chat. If you all remember when Cory Booker told such a sad sob story about how Ketanji Brown, went through all of these obstacles to find her way where she is today, right? I'm going to give you a revamp just in case you forgot, because I want to paint a picture. You see, Cory Booker is good at telling sob stories, because that's another story that a TikToker posted that Cory told, and I just had to let you all hear it. So we're going to get to that next. But meanwhile, let me refresh in your memory with this video of him talking about his friend, the beloved Ketanji Brown Jackson. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
The performance was enchanting, completely captivating on so many different levels.
From the beginning to the end, just hypnotizing.
I feel better about the world. I feel uplifted.
It touches you. It really does. Every American needs to see it.
Thank you.
You got here how every black woman in America who's gotten anywhere has done by being like Ginger Rogers said. I did everything Fred Astaire did, but backwards in heels. And I want to tell you, when I look at you, this is why I get emotional. I'm sorry, you're a person that is so much more than your race and gender. You're a Christian, you're a mom, you're you're an intellect, you love books, but for me, I'm sorry, it's hard for me not to look at you and not see my mom, not to see my cousins, one of them who had to come here and sit behind you. She had to have your back. I see my ancestors and yours. Nobody's going to steal the joy of that woman in the street or the calls that I'm getting or the texts. Nobody's going to steal that joy. You have earned this spot. You are worthy. You are a great American. That is the story of how you got to this desk. And so you faced insults here that were shocking to me. Well, actually not shocking. But you are here because of that kind of love. And nobody's taken this away from me. So you got 5 more folk to go through. 5 more of us. And then you can sit back and let us have all the debates. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a well-charted Senate floor because it's not going to stop. They're going to accuse you of this and that. Heck, in honor of your person who shares your birthday, you might be called a communist. But don't worry, my sister. Don't worry. God has got you. And how do I know that? Because you're here. And I know what it's taken for you to sit in that seat. Today, you're my star. You are my harbinger of hope. This country is getting better and better and better. And when that final vote happens and you ascend onto the highest court in the land, I'm going to rejoice. And I'm going to tell you right now, the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, will be better because of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Booker. We're going to take a 10-minute break.
I just want y'all to pay attention to how right after he finished that up, the judge said, thank you, Senator Booker. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Do you know why the judge needed a 10-minute break? And I'm so glad you asked. So he could go back there and get some water, honey, because clearly his throat was parched after listening to the foolishness, and he had to give himself a good laugh. Was he serious? And then I said, yikes, please, okay? And then he called her a harbinger of hope. Clearly, Uncle Ruckus. And then the best part is when he said, I know exactly what it took for you to get in that seat. Well, I know what it took too. And the reason he knows what it took is because it took the same thing from him. And that's to beg for biscuits. Okay? To be a plantation pappy. All right? So he knew exactly what it took because he had to do the same thing, right? On his knees, begging and pleading, licking master's boots. I want to hereby give Cory Booker an award. This is what I want to give him. I want to give this to Cory Booker. All right? This container of pens so that he can use it to write himself right out of history. That's what he needs to do. Write himself right out of history. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now, if y'all thought that was a performance, Oscar worthy no less, somebody called the Academy Awards. If y'all thought that was hilarious, where do you see this next one? Where do you see this one? I'm about to pull this up on the screen. Prepare for impact, right? Brace for impact, people. Because this one, he went all out telling a sob story with this one. I mean, I'm so serious. Shout out to the TikToker who made it all possible for me to get this laugh. A likes up, everyone, please. The like and share. Here we go.
A woman who made her jabati bread, Indian flatbread, for her family, put it on her windowsill. And every day, this old beggar would come along and take a piece of bread and just mutter to himself, the evil you do stays with you. The good you do comes back to you. Well, her son went on a long and dangerous journey and hadn't come back. And so one day she was just feeling frustrated and angry and hurt and a little bitter at the beggar who never said thank you. And somehow she got it in her mind that she was going to poison one of the pieces of bread to make that beggar very sick, to teach him a lesson. She put the bread out, that one piece, on the windowsill. But as the beggar approached, she began to feel this sense of shame. How could she be doing this? How could she have been driven to do something like this? And she grabbed the piece of bread, threw it into the fire, and put a fresh, pure piece out for the beggar. He snatched it and muttered to himself, "The evil you do stays with you. The good you do will come back to you." Well, that evening, a knock came at her door. She opened the door, and her son collapsed into the house. He was scarred and clothing torn. It was looking like he was close to death. And he looked up to his mother and said, "I almost didn't make it. I collapsed at the edge of town. If it wasn't for this old man giving me a piece of jabati bread and telling me that I needed it more than he did, I would not have made it back to you. The evil you do stays with you. The good you do comes back to you." We're celebrating the great holiday of Diwali. It is a celebration of light over darkness, of good over evil. Perhaps the most important contest is not in the world, but that contest within us. May we win the struggle to bring out our good, our light, and our love.
What you talking about, Willis? Say what now? I mean, he was all in. Claudette said babble. Lillian said, "What in the hell?" Exactly. What was his point? What was his point? And then the part that was so ridiculous is when he I absolutely cannot with Cory Booker, okay? But he can tell a good story, I'll say that. Maud Egypt called him Mr. Potato Head. I'll tell you what, he can. Claudette said, "Queen, I can't." He can tell a good story. Y'all see how intense he was when he told it? Oh, so crazy. So this is the part where it made no sense. First of all, none of it made any sense. But the main part that made no sense is where the woman was so kind and considerate. Now I want y'all to pay attention to the foolishness. The woman was so kind and sweet that she would bake this bread and put it in the windowsill every day to feed this homeless person. But then just because he never said thank you, she decides to poison him and kill it. Make it all make sense. What a change of pace, right? I mean, she had to have done a complete 360. Isn't that just so ridiculous? Like, sit down somewhere, Cory Booker, with these lame stories. How long did it take for him to make that up? I'm just wondering. So anyway, I've heard enough of him for today. So now, let's have a word from my sponsors over at beautifulheartsapparel.com, where they wear their hearts on their sleeve, before I get into the last story for the morning. All right? Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
Beautiful Hearts Apparel, we have something for everyone. A look that's comfortable and stylish for work, play, or simply on the go. Beautiful Hearts Apparel, wear your heart on your sleeve. Hearts Apparel, we wear our hearts on our sleeves for a fit that's comfortable and stylish. Be confident, be bold, be you. Beautiful Hearts Apparel, wear your heart on your sleeve.
All right. So with that all being said, let's have a talk about this last story. Okay, Kanye has gotten into an argument with some parents at a Saints soccer game. Got into a heated argument, they say. So they say West isn't just starting fights. He isn't just starting fights on social media, they say. He's been seen getting into an argument with a parent at his son's Saints soccer game in Los Angeles over the weekend. And the whole thing was caught on camera. I'm not going to play the footage because it's TMZ's, honey. You know, TMZ doesn't mind give you a copyright strike. Now, in the footage obtained by TMZ, the controversial rapper, age 45, who has faced public backlash and professional repercussions for his onslaughts of anti-Semitic remarks, was spotted having a heated exchange with an unidentified individual on the sideline of his 6-year-old's game. Now, his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, with whom he also shares daughters North and Chicago and son Psalm, sat down in a lawn chair flanked by security, but did not visibly react as the disgraced designer stood about 30 feet away, waving his arms in a seemingly frustrated manner. Another woman who appeared to be a family friend approached West and said something that prompted the heartless musician to storm off the field. Now, they called him heartless. I want y'all to pay attention. This is how they describe the heartless musician. Pay attention. Now, a witness told TMZ that West took a few minutes to cool off and eventually returned to watch the rest of Saints' game without further drama. The outlet notes that Kardashian and West did not interact during their son's sporting events. So anyway, honey, now I just want y'all to pay attention to that, because what they'll do is now every little thing that Kanye does, they're going to bring that up. Yes, 6 for 3 Soldier says the smear campaign. Yes. They're going to continue to further demonize him, as Jag says. Yes, absolutely. So this, I mean, how many parents get into arguments with the coaches of their kids' games? Plenty of them, okay? I myself have gotten into arguments with the coach. My sister has, okay? It's just something normal and common that parents do. So sit down somewhere, TMZ. But, you know, like I said, this is just narratives being painted. This is narratives being painted. The thing is this. When you are a Black person and you speak the truth about certain people, there's an issue. Like I told you all yesterday, they started going in on Kyrie Irving about the documentary that he posted and didn't want to take it down. Well, he shouldn't have had to take it down. It was his prerogative. Like, I want you to pay attention to how people control narratives and control what people say and do. Right? But you can't say that, though. Pay attention. Now, if you can sit there and get someone pressured to take down a Twitter post that absolutely is not vulgar, threatening, or any of those things, what does that tell you? Doesn't that prove further Kanye's point, Nick Cannon's point? I'm just saying. Make it all make sense. At the end of the day, like I asked you yesterday, if they got all that smoke for Kyrie because he posted it, why aren't they having the same smoke for Amazon, who's selling it? Why don't they have smoke for them? Okay? Freedom of speech is dead in this country, honey. That's where freedom of speech is, Shara beloved. Freedom of speech is dead in this country. Apparently, they're trying to turn this into a communist regime. That's what it looks and sounds like. You can't say certain things just because certain people don't like it. But hold on. Let's talk about this too before I get out of here. I almost forgot about this. You all remember that LeBron James posted something yesterday to Twitter. Let me pull this up real quick. He posted something about Elon Musk. You know, it's been a lot of talk about the direction that Twitter is going in now that Elon has purchased it. Okay, they're saying that a lot of these wanton supremacist fools, and you know, I call them wanton supremacists because they're not supreme, they're not superior, they're anything but. In fact, they're the opposite. And anytime that you have to go out of your way to continue to say that you're something that, you know, you have to feel like you have to tell everybody, that means you're none of that. Because if you were, people would see it for themselves. So they're clearly not supreme or superior. But these idiots have been all over Twitter using the N-word. Now, here's what LeBron posted. Let me share my screen because Elon Musk has responded to it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, you all see that? Let me read it to you. Let me zoom in a little bit. So it says, hold on. Okay, so it says, I don't know Elon Musk, right? I could care less who owns Twitter. But I will say that if this is true, I hope he and his people take this very seriously because this is scary as F. So many damn unfit people saying hate speech is free speech. Oh, yeah, it is free speech when they're talking about Black folk. Now, I want y'all to pay attention because as much as they have talked about Kanye, as much as they have tried to paint him as anti-Semitic and spewing hate and vitriol against the youth, how come nobody has a problem with all of these wanton supremacists saying the N-word all over Twitter for the past few days? How come nobody's going on about that? That's because we don't have any power. Now, we can't say who does, but I tell you what, so I'll say who doesn't. We don't. That too. We don't have any power, so they can say whatever they want to say about us, and nobody's going to say anything. Pay attention. Now, they've been saying the N-word for days, honey. Oh, now I can finally say that I hate N-words. Yeah, that's what one of them said. Oh, the bird is free, so I'm free to say the N-word. I can tell how I really feel about N-words. I hate them. George Floyd deserved to die, and so do many of the rest of them. That's what someone posted on Twitter. Now, nobody's talking about them being hateful and spreading vitriol and any of those things. Nobody's saying protect Black people against violence. Nobody's saying any of that. Nobody's going in on Elon Musk and painting him as a demon, taking away his endorsements, taking away his money. Nobody's doing any of that. Nobody's doing any of that. And speaking of this, you know, here's the thing. It's not a problem. Like Taharka said, it's not a problem that they're dropping Kanye's endorsements, taking some of his money and all of that. Because when you deal with the devil, sometimes you get burned in the hellfire. But the thing that sickens me is the fact that certain people can have you demonized and vilified because you told the truth about them. Meanwhile, people tell lies about us. I'm talking about the lamestream propagandist machine. Max Weber, a former journalist who since passed away, before he died, one of the things he said he hated most as a news reporter was the manufactured stories that they had to make up on the African-American community. That's what he said. So they can make up lies on us, and we can't do anything about it. We can complain, but that's not going to stop them. We've complained for decades. They continue to do it because they own everything. The media, the dominant society, the wanton supremacists, the elites, they're in control. The global elite specifically. So we have no power and control, so we can't say or do anything. But if you tell the truth about certain people, then you get demonized and vilified. Wow, so they can tell all the lies on us that they want. They can paint narratives, spew propaganda, and do all of the above, and nobody says a word. They don't get demonized. Elon Musk, nobody's saying anything about him. Let's hear his response to LeBron. Elon Musk responds to LeBron James' scary as F N. Let's talk about it. Elon Musk has responded to controversy about involving the proliferation of the N-word on Twitter. Now, last week, the Washington Post reported that after Elon Musk purchased the social media platform, use of the N-word has skyrocketed by a staggering 500%. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Nobody cares. You see, that to them is free speech, but we don't have free speech when we just simply want to tell the truth. LeBron responded to this story saying that it was scary as F. I don't know Elon Musk or whatever. They're repeating what LeBron always said. Now, Musk responded by referring to James James's thread by Yoel Roth, Twitter's head of safety and integrity. Now, here's what it says. Over the last 48 hours, we've seen a small number of accounts post a ton of tweets that include racial slurs and other derogatory terms. This is what Roth tweeted on Sunday. Now, he said a small number. I want you to pay attention because it's not a small number. That's what it isn't. If it's increased, the use of the N-word has increased by 500%. Does that sound like it's a small number to y'all? This is the lie they're telling. But anyway, he says, to give you a sense of scale, more than 50,000 tweets repeatedly using a particular slur came from just 300 accounts. I don't believe it, but continue. Now, he says nearly all of these accounts are inauthentic. We've taken action to ban the user involved in this trolling campaign. So now he's trying to say these are bots. These are not real people. What's he trying to say? Sit down somewhere. And are continuing to work. We continue working to address this in the days to come to make Twitter safe and welcoming for everyone. Please. Musk, meanwhile, also tweeted that Twitter has not yet changed its moderation policies from when he took over the social media giant just last week. Musk, whose net worth is estimated as being over $220 billion by Forbes, elaborated that he will be forming a panel to handle decisions involving content moderation and whether banned accounts such as former President Donald Trump will be permitted to return. Twitter will be forming a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints. This is what he tweeted on Friday, saying that no major content decisions or account reinstatements will happen before the council convenes. Let me tell y'all something. Basically, what he just did was he diverted attention away from LeBron. I want you to pay attention because he didn't answer that question. He didn't really respond to LeBron, as to say whether or not they're going to allow people to use that word. He didn't say that. You see, what he did is what people often do when they don't want to answer something. They don't want to be held accountable for something. They change the direction and flow of the conversation. Rather than addressing LeBron's concerns and the use of the N-word, first of all, he got Roth to speak on it, and Roth simply said, oh, it was just 300 accounts, and these weren't even authentic accounts. That's his excuse. Then Musk comes back and says, well, we'll be having a council, and I haven't changed any of the policies and set yet. We'll be having a council to sit down and have a discussion, and then we'll address concerns, and, we have to go over the policies, and that. Nobody asked you about none of that, fool. We want to know, what are you going to do about these wanton supremacist clowns using the N-word? And don't try to tell us that all of these accounts using it are inauthentic. Don't try to tell us that. All right? Because I'm not buying it. But I just want y'all to pay attention because this is where it's at. Elon Musk is built like a cinder block, says Salad D. So Antonio Parra said 300 to 1, yay. Exactly. Now, all this to do over Kanye speaking truth to power, but because the things that he said truth about were unfavorable to some who want to hide the truth and keep it buried in a hole somewhere under a rock. He gets all this, but these wanton supremacists tell lies on us, disparage us, kill us, plot against us, and all of that. That's what I want y'all to pay attention to. That's what I want y'all to pay attention to. And then they try to make themselves the victims. Isn't that something? How are they the victims? When we're the ones being killed at a rampant rate, shot dead in the streets while unarmed, shot in the head at point blank range by a no good racist officer who was on your back, and you had no weapon. Now, the officer says that Lyoya had taken possession of the taser. Well, we couldn't see that from the footage. And I doubt it's even true. They always come up with some convenient excuse to make themselves the victim. Oh, I feared for my life after they murder some unarmed Black person at a traffic stop. What I want y'all to think about and marinate on as we leave here is, how is it that Black people continue to get murdered, executed at traffic stops for traffic infractions? How is it even possible? Well, you can have Caucasian males run from the police, stab the police in the neck, pull guns on the police, shoot numerous police, kill police, and they are taken to jail. They are taken to jail. Don't forget that the United States, the divided snakes, their police officers are trained in Israel. Trained in Israel. Now, I want y'all to let that sizzle in your spirit. They're trained in Israel. Do any of you ever feel like a Palestinian? Because I do. Pay attention. With that all being said, I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, and never destructive. And always remember, keep the Most High first in your lives, beloved, but also make sure that you double check to make sure you're still subscribed to this channel, because I literally saw YouTube unsubscribing people in real time as I was sitting there signing up my stuff this morning. Okay, I literally can see them doing it, but they'll lie and say they don't. So you all pay attention. And then when I let them know that I see them doing it in real time, they'll tell me, oh, we only unsubscribe bot accounts. No, they don't. They unsubscribe real accounts because you all come back and tell me. So make sure you're double checking, doing your due diligence to ensure that you are still subscribed to the Queen's channel, because you know how they do. All right. Anything fishy that you see going on, get kicked out of the chat, you know, unable to hit the like button. And that's like I told you all yesterday. If you can't find the like button, like sometimes they'll conveniently have it just disappear. Screenshots to prove that you don't have it, that you weren't able to see it. All right, and send that to the Queen. And my email, ShakurAhmadiyyah@gmail.com. Not the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, because all of my stories that you all send me come there. Send it to ShakurAhmadiyyah@gmail.com. Okay, make sure you all follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, on TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and on Twitter at DGoddess27. Make sure you follow the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur fan page to get updates on what I'm going to be doing. And also go to the website, QueenAhmadiyyahShakur.com, and make sure that you subscribe so that you're added to my email list. Okay, don't forget, this week I'm going to be going live on the backup channel, the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. And also, I'm going to be doing the Wig Chronicles. All of those videos that I did exposing wig, I'm going to be reposting those on the backup channel. All right, starting tonight. Okay, so if you miss any of those episodes, I'm going to go from first to last, uploading those episodes for anybody who missed it. All right, so pay attention. That's going to be on the backup channel, the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. If you haven't subscribed to that channel, please do. Okay, there's the link in the chat. Silent D just posted it. It's the Wig Chronicles. All right, starting tonight, I'm going to be posted. The first one will premiere at about 9 o'clock tonight. So with that all being said, don't forget to tune back in at 6:15 this evening. Okay, for your daily vitamins. Okay, Vince I Am said yes. Queen, finally, Wig Chronicles. Yes, absolutely. The ethnicist says, spit them facts, Queen. Thank you, beloved. So that all been said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make sense.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen. I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get